Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today I have finally completed level 100 hunting. Oh, this took me way too long. But it is complete as promised. I have finally got level 100 hunting, and I'll be showcasing every reward, the quickest hunting strategy to get the most EXP, as well as the data I have gathered about my hunting strategy and how well that actually went. So firstly, for this hunting strategy, you're gonna need a Spitfire. I'm joking, you don't need a Spitfire. It's just that the Spitfire is the most effective weapon for hunting in this game, so if you do have it, you're gonna wanna use it, but if you don't worry, there's a far cheaper alternative, and it's a mule shotgun and a Sharps rifle, which I don't have in my inventory because I don't own a Sharps rifle as of current. Let's go buy a Sharps just for this video. I'll waste how much money? 7,500? Just for this video. These are the two main weapons you want. You're also gonna want to bring some sidearms just in case. Any sidearms really do. You can bring shotguns, you can bring auction guns, really just any sidearm that can just nice and handy. Another thing I want to mention is all grinding I have done is with membership tokens, because ultimately you get 50% more EXP, and that extra 50% adds up very quick. And I would definitely recommend you yourself get membership tokens either through trading or through buying it with Robux. Ultimately, I would always recommend buying them with in-game cash because frick spending IRL money. All right, let's switch over to the strategy. Firstly, you're going to want to come onto a big server. That's right, you're going to want to get as many people as possible. Well, not really as many. It's just as long as you have over 8 people in the servers, because you want legendary animals to spawn. Because ultimately, legendary animals give you more EXP. That's why you want to join larger servers. It doesn't have to be this big, for example, but it is nice to just join a random server, and as long as it's bigger than 8 players, you're chilling. So, what you're going to do is you're going to want to snipe the bison. Now, if you're good at the game and the bison was facing you, you'd be able to shoot it in one shot. But, you know, the bison wasn't facing me, so whatever. You're going to want to... Okay, come on. Well, I got a headshot there, so that was pretty sick. And when you get to bears, you're going to switch to the mule. And to pump the mule, even if you get hit a little bit. You know, if you took some damage, maybe you can carry some bandages or just other types of... Or like watermelon. Maybe watermelon's a really good thing for this, because you can carry a lot of watermelons, and for the most effective strategy, you're not going to be really picking up any loot because it takes too long to sell loot. There's another bear right here, and you're going to want to get a Sharps rifle because you're going to want to shoot this bison that is in the field over there, if I could see it. Yeah, sometimes this is the wonky part, because sometimes this bison hides behind that hill right over there. Oh, or does something else stupid, like goes down into the ravine. Checking down there, I do not see a bison. So, oh, there it is. That is the bison that would normally spawn over in that field. You're going to want to hit headshots with the Sharps rifle, obviously, so you can kill bison really quickly. Usually if you come back, sometimes the bison will respawn. That's cool. Kill him again. There's also a deer that spawns right here. A deer spawning on this side of the grizzly woods. And you want to kill it on horseback, most preferably. You can either bring a Lancaster, which has really good horseback accuracy, or just a shotgun and get really close and blast it. Anything works. And you're going to want to now find the bear in the grizzly forest. The bear usually spawns right about here, and as you can see, it's right there. I'm going to snipe it so it comes over to my direction. Okay, it just didn't come into my direction. Great. Yeah, come in my direction, please. Usually you'd want to use a shotgun on the bears because, you know, okay, and use your sidearms just in case you get into a pickle. But ultimately, we are chilling, and there's a bison over here somewhere. A bison spawns right about here, and you can see that's the other deer. We're going to come back and kill that in a second. This bison, you could use a Sharps, or you could use one nice place mule shot. You really only want to use the Sharps for the mules, for the bison that are far away from you. Like, this bison's close, and it's on your trajectory. And there should be another bison here, but where is the other bison here? There's 2 bison that spawn. Well, how inconvenient. The other bison is not here for whatever reason. This is where you're going to come with the Sharps, and you're going to want to snipe this bison over there. Most of the time, it should be facing you in your direction, but obviously, I'm new to the server, so it wasn't facing my direction. And also, I do not see where the other bison is, bro. Getting scammed out here. We're losing 1 bison of EXP. And you're going to come over here and kill this deer, preferably on horseback. You don't want to get off if you don't have to. Just go up, shoot it as quick as possible, get a shotgun shot or whatever. Now, here's something you can do. You could take a sniper shot at these at these bison from all the way over here. I specifically do this because you're going to come down to this bear cave right over here. And sometimes the bear takes a little too long to spawn, especially if you go quick enough. So you're going to want to... So sniping these bison is just a good way of like just keeping EXP high while this bear takes time to respawn. If you have a mule shotgun, obviously come right nice and personal. And why did I not have... why did I not have frickin' things... Why was my mule not reloaded, bro? Obviously, you're going to want to reload your weapons before you shoot them, so that doesn't happen. And you're just making your way back over to the 2 bear over here now. And you kind of just repeat that over and over again. Mule and sharps if you're poor, and Spitfire if you're, you know, rich. Come up here, blast, dead. There's no bears over here, come over here. Say, hello bear, how's it going? I'm going to shoot you, bye-bye. And then you switch to your sharps, and you're going to want to snipe the bison that spawns over there. See it spawn that time, and boom, you got it. And then you go way back. You just go back and forth. Just go back and forth for the rest of the time, because that's your life. That's your life now. You hunt for EXP, and that's it. And so yeah, that's the quickest hunting method. It's you approximately 100,000 EXP per hour. Sometimes a little more. It actually gets you slightly more than 100,000 from what I've tested. I could show the Spitfire method, but the vast majority don't have a Spitfire, and plus if you do have a Spitfire, it's just really easy. You just literally come up to things and just kill them immediately. But you could just use Spitfires on bisons and bears. You don't really need to switch primary weapons around a lot, but that's the joy of having a Spitfire. But obviously if you don't have, you know, millions at your disposal to get a Spitfire, then the cheaper method works a lot just as well. Maybe a little bit slower, but it still gets the job done. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I would recommend liking and subscribing, because let's be real, you're probably enjoying it. I'm also hosting a third $100,000 in-game cash giveaway if this video hits 300 likes before the end of the week. If you want to claim that prize, join my Discord server and make sure you like and subscribe, so, you know, you can stay notified for when that happens. You know, it kind of started as a little gag where I said, oh, if I get 100 likes, I'd give away 100,000. And then you guys crushed that within 8 hours. So for the second video, I did 200 likes, and you guys crushed that literally within like 2 days. So now 300 likes, I really want to test you guys. Can you get that done in a week? If so, I'll lose another 100. If not, I get to keep my money and I get to go home happy. Now, firstly, a quick thing about my data. As you can see, a lot of these points are not 100,000. You might be wondering, why is that? It's because I didn't realize you can kill an extra bison until I was 32 hours into grinding. That is the bison and mention I was missing out on. Yeah, isn't that fun? Ever since I started doing that, I was getting at least 100,000, if not more than 100,000. I just want you to keep that in mind when you're looking at this data. As you can see, missing out on that extra bison really did lower the numbers, with very few ever reaching over 100K. But with that extra bison, I was able to easily increase it to over 100K every single time without question, even with a run where I got 0 legendary animals. That also brings me to legendary animals. On average, I was getting about 2 legendaries every hour. I think the most I've gotten in an hour is 5, with 2 attempts of getting 5 right here, right here, right here, right here. I have these data points saying legendary stolen. This is when I saw either a legendary animal get killed that I wasn't able to retrieve the money for, or someone killed me when I had the legendary animal, like this one right here. So I couldn't get the legendary. You can also see my deaths. Earlier on, I died a lot more. This was because I was inexperienced, and also I didn't have the perks that would allow me to survive animals better. As you can see, the second I got those perks, like right around here, I started dying basically 0 times. Except for every now and then I would die just because, you know, I'm only human after all. I got a total of 71 legendaries over 35 hours of grinding, with an average of obviously 2 legendaries per hour I put in. If I spawned a legendary animal, I would go out of the way to sell it because I didn't want to waste legendary loot. Legendary loot is just very valuable, and so I always sold legendary loot. Obviously, if you didn't sell legendary loot, you would make even more EXP, but come on, it's legendary loot. You're really just gonna let that sit on the ground? So yeah, the vast majority of legendaries I spawned were legendary bison, with a total of 45, and a total of 26 legendary bears. I guess the reason I spawn more bison is because I'm killing a lot more bison on average. So that's 7 bisons for every 4 bears, and I guess you could check if that math checks out. Now, as you can see with the when I started doing the +1 bison that I didn't realize for the longest time I could snipe, I was getting less than 100k per run. But the 4 runs that I did figure out that, oh my gosh, there's a bison that's just showing its head over there that I could just easily snipe. And that's what really, if I knew that the entire time, I would have been obviously chilling way better. I could have probably cut at least 1 hour off of my grinding. That would have definitely helped my mental state. You know, just any bit of time you could save is good. So I had to suffer so you guys can get the best possible strategy. If I were just to take the total, or if I was just to take the average of these 4 data points, you would see that I was getting about 100,000 EXP per hour, which, you know, pretty good. So that's over 100,000 per hour. And I have decided that this was the quickest method. I've tried other methods. From some other famous YouTubers, and you know, I was never able to replicate the results. I kept seeing, oh my gosh, I get 130,000 an hour. I was like, where? I'm barely getting 80k, bro. And here's another method I used. I was using a different hunting method that only gave me, you know, pretty poor results, and I was like really dissatisfied with how that was turning out. Basically 80k with 0 legendaries compared to the fact that I could now get 100k with 0 legendaries is a really big deal. I'm pretty sure this method was you just kill a lot of bears along the path, like from Howling Peak all the way to the Pinewood Forest. And I also tried, you know, a shorter method where you just only kill certain things on a run. This method is ultimately the fastest I've tested and will get you to whatever hunting level you desire. Pulling up a progression sheet, you could see that getting level 50 would only take you about 9 hours-ish, not including, obviously, daily missions and weekly missions. Obviously, those will add up EXP better over time, but if you wanted to get level 50 really quickly, you can get level 50 in about 9 hours with this method. Obviously, to get level 100 strictly with this method, it would take you well close to 53 hours. And I did 35 hours of this. The rest of my EXP was gotten from other hunting, mainly weekly missions and daily missions. So yeah, that's the data. Let's move on to the items you get for completing all of hunting. Alrighty, let's go over all the items you can get through progressing through hunting. Starting off at level 5, you get 5 tomahawks. Tomahawks are, as you probably know, throwable axes that deal a pretty decent amount of damage, but honestly, they're kind of useless, and I never see anyone really use them, so you might as well just sell them as like I did. At level 10, you get $2,000 and the Frontier's Knife. Now, I already made a video on the Frontier's Knife, but if you want to see, it does 50 damage, making it a rival to the Kukri. If you really do want to see how the Frontier Knife compares to the Kukri, you should watch the video on it. Going on to next, to level 15, you get plus 15% animal resistance. This means animals will deal 15% less damage to you, and you also get $2,000. Level 20, you get another $2,000 and 3 bear traps. I personally just sell them because who cares? At level 25, you get the Gentleman Mustache. I could try finding this mustache if I was smart enough. Hold up, how does it look like? You know what I wish? I wish the devs put away in the game so you can see what the name of an item, like a cosmetic item is. So when you look in the cosmetic menu, you know what you're looking for. And I think it is this mustache right here is the Gentleman's, if I'm correct. Let's compare it one more time. Yeah, that looks about the same. So this is the Gentleman's mustache. If you like mustaches, this is a cool mustache. I'm not a mustache person, as I can't grow in real life. So after the mustache, you get the Levy rifle. Oh, I thought it was level 50. I'm really stupid. Well, means getting this weapon's way quicker. Now this is a pretty nice weapon, but I do believe there's a weapon that outclasses it, considering that it has a pretty slow, what's it called, like chambering ability. It has 10 rounds, which is really nice. It does 72 to the head and 45 to the body. Takes a good bit to reload. But in my personal opinion, from what I've tested and from what I've gathered around, is that some people prefer the Winchester because it is quick, because it has a quicker firing ability, and the damage, because it's still a 3-shot to the body with the Winchester. So the Winchester, even though this does more damage, the Winchester, you know, in terms of total hits it takes to take down a person, the Winchester is probably a better weapon. But with this weapon, you do get 2 more bullets. So if you suck at aiming and you need the extra bullets, this gun is probably your choice. But it does take forever to fire, while the Winchester is way quicker than this. And I don't feel like wasting money on a Winchester, so you just have to take my word on that. So after the Libby rifle, you get these pair of clothing, this pair of pants and this shirt. I'm not going to put these on because it's going to take way too long to find in the cosmetic menu, because the devs really need to update the cosmetics menu to, you know, actually have like names for things, because it's really annoying. At level 45, you get plus 30 animal resistance. I'll probably put on screen like how much damage reduction that does for like normal and legendary animals. The Henry Marksman. Oh, the level 50 sniper. This is actually a pretty sick weapon, and it's actually the second best sniper in the game, only behind the Spitfire in my opinion. I do think this weapon is better than the Sharps, for its only fact is that it's really effective at killing things. Takes a little bit less time to reload, as you can see. The Sharps does have a lot longer drop off compared to the Henry Marksman, and it does, unless Sharps also scopes in better. But I do like the Marksman for its quick ability. And sure, the damage drop off is a lot closer, as you can see that it already dropped off. Well, if I were to use the Sharps is still nice and clean. But ultimately, the Henry Marksman is still going to always be doing at least 100 damage if you hit a headshot and, you know, 2 shots to the body, which makes this, in my opinion, a better sniper for killing players than the Sharps. The Sharps, though, does have the advantage of being able to one-shot Bison in the head, so from a distance, so the Sharps is still kind of useful, and you don't really want to switch it out in the hunting strategy for this weapon. But this is a nice player sniper. Obviously, the only sniper being better is the Spitfire. This gun is just the best pinnacle sniper. And I remember early on in the game when this sniper used to be the best gun in the game overall. Like, the only gun you would ever need used to be the Spitfire. What a crazy time to have the Spitfire. Moving on from level 50, we come to level 60 with 50 animal resistance. Now, this is pretty big. Pretty big jump from 30. You gotta remember, you start with 15, jump up another 15 to 30. Now you jump up to 20% with 50, and 50 is a lot of damage off. Now we come to level 70, the Hawk and Musket. I already did a video on this, as well as comparing it to the Jezile and a little bit of the Axe Gun, so I'm not going to go over too much here, but as you can see, 120 to the head, takes a good bit to reload, and does 75 to the body. If you want to see my video on the Henry Marksman, I mean, not on the Henry Marksman, my video on the Hawk and Musket and the Jezile comparison, I will have it as an info card. Level 80, you get more clothes. Yay, more useless clothes that I'm never going to use. These pair of pants and this pair of shirt. You can go find that in your cosmetic menu, because I sure as hell won't, because this place is a mess. It doesn't have any names. You can't search for clothes. It is very annoying to find anything you want in these menus. Oh, I'm getting arrested. No, my money! No! My money! Bro, you suck. What the hell was that? That was lame as hell, bro. I even missed most of my shots and you couldn't even kill me. Alright, whatever. Okay, moving on from the clothes, you get plus 75% animal resistance for level 85, and that is big. Because that means bears only deal 20 damage to you. That's right. You could survive basically 5 bear hits if you heal up a little bit, which is crazy to think about, bro. Why does this guy want me so badly? Like, get out of here. Just get out of here, bro. You're not taking my money. Yeah, and after level 85, you're kind of chilling for 15 levels, and those 15 levels are a grueling pain of nothing until you finally get the Trapper title. And the Trapper title is, well, a nice title. As you can see, I have the Trapper title right under the Surveyor title, and if I type in chat, hello, you can see it's a nice brown color. Wow, it's brown like hunting. You know, I wish it was, instead of Trapper, it was Hunter, but whatever. I think Hunter would have been a far cooler title name to carry around than Trapper. Like, bro, isn't trapping like for like smaller animals? I could be wrong on that. Yeah, this is what trapping means. Like, I was thinking trapping, that's like capturing smaller animals. It doesn't make any sense because there's like no small animals in this game, except if you go to like if you see on the shops, like sometimes you'll see these small animals, small animal pelts. Like, come on, when are we getting foxes, skunks and raccoons? Like, these animals would be pretty cool to see around. Like, honestly, this game needs a wildlife update. This game needs a lot of updates, honestly. It needs carriages, it needs wildlife, it needs building, especially. It needs horses update, it needs this cosmetic menu update. There's still a lot to update in this game, and I hope the devs, even with the lack of tirage, can get it done. And so yeah, that's about all there is to hunting. Well, at least grinding, hunting, and EXP. If you know me, you already know I'm going to be maxing logging next. And I'll be getting every single log axe, getting all this extra axe damage, and I'm going to be comparing it and showing it to you guys, and also getting the Merlin trench shotgun for hopefully a video that I'm going to make comparing all shotguns eventually, but that's a while away. I'm probably going to take another 2-week hiatus before I upload my next video, just like I did for this video, because finals week is next week, and I want to pass my finals with flying colors, so I'm going to take my sweet old time. So it's the end of the video. Like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell, leave a comment, do whatever you know. Help me with the algorithm, please. I want more views. I want more money. Watch my ads, please, so I get more money. See you next time. And next time, hopefully, I'll be getting at least hunting level 60 or 70, so I can showcase all the axes and maybe the Merlin pump. Maybe I'll get to level 60 so I can just show all the axes for my next video. Until then, see you later.